Hey, this is Yogi Bryan. Be sure to visit theyogishow.com. In today's episode, we have Erin Motz, aka Bad Yogi. Why you want to listen? Well, in this episode, we talk about three things. 1, building community. 2, yoga entrepreneurship. And 3, being a yoga mom. Let's get to the show.
Thank you so much for being here, Mrs. Erin Motz. Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Good morning, Yogi Bryan. Is the sun even up yet in Arizona?
Good morning, Erin. Good morning, Pedro. Let me look. The sun is not up yet. It's not up yet. It's dark. Cats are going crazy in the place. So
yeah,
well, I'm stoked. We got Bad Yogi here.
We got Bad Yogi on the show. You know, this has been like 2 months in the making.
Yeah,
Erin, I remember when Bryan talked to Allison about coming on the show, and you had, I think Theo was like a month old, like when this started. And I was like, how can she schedule anything 2 months out? And she has like a 1-month-old baby. Like, I don't even know how that's possible. So I don't even know how you're recording this right now, to be honest.
to be honest, it is only because I have a husband and we work together. So he is he's on baby duty if he wakes up. But yeah, no, it's insane. It's insane.
It's so crazy, right? It's so crazy. And I don't know if like what happened last night. So I have a 2.5-year-old. His name is Mateo. And last night he decided that he was up at 12:30 and like in the morning, and he's just like playing in his crib, and then he starts screaming for me, and he's right on the other side of my wall.
Oh my God.
And this went on for like an hour or so, tossing and turning. So I went in there, tried to hold him, go back. He was up till 3:15.
No.
Like yes, it was terrible. It triggered me all the flashbacks.
Yes,
and I was like,
yes.
And I was like, and I'm going to be on the show with Erin, and I know she knows she's in the mix. She's in the fire.
Right? So true. I mean, it sounds dramatic, but I mean, I am not kidding when I say that I have like PTSD from the first like 6 weeks of his life. And the level of screaming, the bad sleep. I mean, so now every time he makes a sound, like when he's sleeping, I'm like, oh God, we're going back. We're just slide right back into it,
I do. I had the same thought. Like literally what you just said. I had this conversation with my wife Summer this morning that said, anytime like he makes like a wince or a noise, like I have to like I hold my whole body like goes with this like shot of adrenaline, and I'm like, oh no,
it's happening.
And it's like hard for it's happening, and then like So I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But Bryan, do you still have traumatic flashbacks, bro? I know Noah's 9 years old, but
I mean, Noah's 9 years old. I have a son, and they say grows up really fast, and it is true. Like he grew up so fast. Now he's 9. Now he's doing Fortnite dances and freaking TikTok, and he wants zero help with his anything technology. He's like, Dad, I can do it. I'm like, okay, dude. But yeah, I still gotta use my yoga skills in that parenting. That's where the yoga skills really come.
Totally, man. Totally. And that's kind of like one of the questions I wanted to ask you, Erin, is like, obviously like life has changed for you dramatically over the past few months or in a year. And like, just your story about, moving, and we'll get into all that stuff. But like, like what's, as a new mom, and a yogi, like what's kind of like your go-to right now to like ground, get it together, and like in the heat of the moment, like what's your go-to?
Oh my God. I'm the wrong person to ask, I feel, because I don't have it together at all in the moment. Like in the heat of the moment, you're in the moment. Like you said, it is the fire. You're just sitting in the fire, and it's like, oh dear God, I don't know what I have done. And then it's really just the moments that bookend that give you perspective. Because in the heat of the moment, I have no perspective. I have no, I'm not.
It's once you're out though.
Like I don't have a mantra in the middle of it. No, man, like, it just sucks. And then, it's just those moments that surround it that you're like, okay, try to like get my head together and realize the truth that surrounds this situation, that it will get better. It's okay,
Literally, like this too shall pass. Like that was one of the things I used to think. Like this is all temporary. Like this is only for this moment that it's going to be this much in the fire. And just like trying to ground and not get angry or that stuff. Of course, like having compassion, but it's hard. Like it's so hard.
God. Honestly, it is harder than I even expect. I expected it to be a challenge for sure, but also our baby, he's thankfully the last week has been really good, but he had colic as well. So, and dude, I don't know if you've ever been around a baby with colic, but it is
I haven't.
next level torture. And so for weeks, just hours and hours on weeks, you just have a screaming baby that you just can't console. And like, that took me to a new place. I mean, so yeah, it's been interesting.
Absolutely. You know,
it'd be a cool app if you could like transform the screaming baby into like the sound of an ohm.
Yeah.
If there's like an app or Alexa can do that. Amazon, figure that out.
Oh man, Bryan, let me tell you, my husband was saying that like, and he was dead serious, but he said there should be a mask that you can, like, obviously this would never get approved, but you would have to be able to put this mask on your baby that would do exactly that. It would just bring the level of noise like down significantly. So you can still hear it crying, you know, but like less. Or it would play classical music instead. So
that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
That sounds good. Like a half mute Mozart comes out.
Exactly.
Exactly. You know
I think we're onto something. Let's forget the yoga stuff.
Let's collab. Let's figure this out. Maybe like a cube, maybe not like a mask, but maybe like a baby cube.
Yeah.
Like a little cube. I don't know.
Seriously, fuck this podcast. I'm going all in on the cube. Erin, did you make up the saying, inhale tacos, exhale negativity? Did you make that up?
I should have. I don't even know. It's probably something. I feel like things get lost in social media now. Like there's actually a weird story about not the tacos, but a few years ago, seriously, like 5 years ago, my friend came over and she told me that her little daughter, who was like 3 at the time, said, she was like, "Oh, you're going to love this." My daughter said, yoga is basically breathing in and out and doing fast karate. And I put that on my Facebook again, like 5 years ago, before Instagram was even like a thing. And recently,
I've seen it.
Yeah. And I was kind of like, holy shit. And, and this is getting attributed to like random people. And I was just thinking like, no freaking way.
That's
this
crazy.
Was my girlfriend in my living room. I mean, it's just insane.
I know. So, it's like slow. Yeah. It's on a yellow tile. It's on a yellow background, the one that I've seen on the internet. And I know exactly what you're saying. And it's been shared a lot recently, like super recently.
Yeah. I had written it in my notes on my iPhone, like, and that's what, so I don't know, man, it's crazy.
I was thinking about that right now when we were talking, just being in the fire with the baby, like just, that mantra of inhale tacos, exhale negativity. that was a great mantra. That was a good mantra, I thought. And it's Tuesday, so hell yeah. Taco Tuesday.
Yeah, every time I think of that saying, like I think you made it up. So good job. For sure. We'll credit you. Right here, right now on the Yogi Show. We're crediting Erin Bad Yogi for that saying.
Absolutely, 100%.
Trademark, done.
Yeah. And I think about that too, Erin, like you said, like you store it in your notes and it's just something that kind of came up and you share it on the internet and all of a sudden it's like viral content. Like when I see things that were shared, like memes that I made years ago, just like on like a white template, it says like yogasm, like the feeling of bliss when you're done working your ass off on your yoga mat. I remember like rolling over in my bed at like one morning, like, oh, this is funny. And like putting it on the internet. And then all of a sudden, like 4 years later, it's like on t-shirts that I don't like, that have nothing to do with me. I'm like, wait a minute. I wrote that in my bedroom, but that's just kind of how it goes. So
it's true. It's hard to keep ownership of something intangible like that, where it's like, damn, I don't know what it's hard to combat, in this age.
Yeah. I personally like used to get, frustrated when, maybe someone shares a meme and like takes my, or the signature off,
the
or
watermark,
just doesn't give me a credit or whatever. And now it's like, oh, well, I got more to pump out. And if it's getting out there and someone's laughing, like, awesome.
They'll find you. They'll find you.
Exactly.
They'll find you. You know what I mean? They'll find you. So, but yeah, so Erin, really, honestly though, having a 3-month-old, taking the time with all the things that you have going on, just looking at Bad Yogi and all of the, I knew a little bit about it before, but in the last week or so, just diving in and checking out like, online magazine, the platforms, the products you sell, and the community that you've created is incredible. Is super incredible. So kudos to you. Cheers, my friend. So cool.
Thank you.
So I just wanted to know, like, 15 years ago, you start doing, you start teaching yoga. How long have you been practicing yoga for?
Oh, okay. So actually almost about the same time because
Okay.
I was
Same
really,
here.
yeah, I was really new as a student and I kind of got addicted right away. And I went to every class like I could possibly get to in like a 2 week period. And my teacher came to me and was like, just randomly, she was moving and she's like, oh, you should get certified and you should take over this class. And, oh, I was young. I was 16. I literally have no idea
Oh,
what
shit.
the heck. I have no idea why that was the case, but I said no a few times, but after some gentle peer pressure, I was like, fine, I guess I'll get certified. And I did. And I took over her class and eventually added more. That's the very short story. But yeah, and that's how I started teaching. So I've been practicing almost as pretty much as long.
That's amazing. Yeah, mine was like 9 months difference. Like I started in
Yeah.
like like a year difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, it
I know.
happened
I know
really
it's
fast.
like super fast. Bryan, how long was your gap between when you started and when you wanted to be a teacher? Was it
It's like
fast, right?
2 weeks.
Oh shit!
Oh, thanks. Yeah,
Fast starter.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even want to teach yoga. I just wanted to do like better Instagram posts because I don't really. I only started the Instagram Namaste AF to make fun of yoga, and like everybody's heard the story that's listening to this podcast. If you listen,
But they still love it
consistently.
because I'm laughing.
But yeah, I just wanted to make fun of yoga because I saw someone doing a yoga challenge and it was ridiculous. They were doing yoga on like the kitchen table. And I was like, why do people do this? Why do people do this shit?
Yeah, and
Then,
now
yeah, went to training. 2 weeks later, signed up, and boom. Now we're talking to Bad Yogi right now.
Now we're talking to Bad Yogi. Yeah, now we're talking to Bad Yogi. Erin, was that here in Florida that you did that training?
Yeah, it was. Are you guys in Florida?
I am. So I live on the East Coast. I live in Boca Raton on the
okay.
East Side. Yeah, and then Brian's with the cactuses in Phoenix. So
Okay, gotcha. Wow, so it's really early. Were you? Sorry about
that. Yeah. So Erin's you're in France, right? Are you in France?
Yeah.
Yeah. So France, Boca Raton, and then Phoenix, Arizona. Amazing that we're able. I mean, think about that for just 1 second. They were able to connect and bring this podcast to people, and just have an organic conversation about yoga, mindfulness, gratitude with a little, obviously with some humor and some fun, and being able to just my mission is to share the gift of yoga with the world. So the both of you being here today and allowing me to speak and hold this conversation for us, is super amazing, that we're able to do this together. It's like, wow, I'm just grateful, super grateful.
Oh, definitely. I agree. It is awesome.
Grateful. So, okay. So how did you get to Bad Yogi? So obviously you're teaching local classes and such. Like, did you have this in mind? Like, I mean, you're 16. I mean, at 16, I don't know. I'm just trying to get a car and drive around. So, I mean, did you always have the entrepreneur in you?
Definitely not. I am kind of an accidental entrepreneur because when I first started teaching, I was just teaching. I always taught on the side. It was really the only thing that I was really passionate about and interested in. So, through high school, I taught on the side, college, always taught. It was my side thing. And then even when I started working in the corporate world after I graduated, I still taught in the evenings and on weekends. And it wasn't until I started getting really miserable in my job in finance that I was like, okay, I was scheming my way out of my finance job, but I wasn't sure what to do. And the only thing I really felt like I could do and make a little money was teach yoga. So I kind of planned that I would leave my job, and I lined up a bunch of classes to teach. So I lined up like 22 classes a week to teach.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and I jumped in to teaching full time, and it was really around that time that I was like, okay. Up until that point, I tried really hard to fit in with the yogis in my city. Like I tried to talk like them and act like them, and I tried to be like the perfect yogi that people would want to come to. Yeah. And I also at the time, I was really a young teacher compared to a lot of people. And so I was just very insecure. And so when I decided to teach full time, I thought, well, geez, I mean, faking it full time is going to be very exhausting. So I just decided that, all right, well, forget it. Like, I mean, I'm not this perfect yogi. I'm not like the goody two shoes. I don't drive a Prius. I'm going to eat pizza after this class.
I have a Prius. It's okay though.
It's fine. It's fine. I'll get over it.
Pedro's like everything you're talking about right now. Just kidding.
Yeah, I love pizza. I had it for dinner last night.
Drinking like a kale juice smoothie or something.
Right.
Sorry to cut you off, Erin. I had to.
Good. You're good. I was none of that. And so when I decided to quit, I was like, all right, well, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it all the way. I'm going to be fully myself. And yeah, I'm not this good yogi. I'm a bad yogi. Yeah, I am that. And so I just started leading with that. And it was I had people coming to me like, oh, I'm so glad that you said that because I feel the same way. And this was like a revelatory thing back in 2012, 2011, you know? So there wasn't really anybody talking like that. And so, yeah, so once that started becoming kind of, I started embodying myself fully. I really also started to wear myself out teaching 22 times a week. And it was my husband who was like, you know, this is unsustainable. I mean, my body was breaking down. I was teaching hot yoga as well most of the time. So it was a bad physical situation. And he was like, you know, you really have to do this. You should do this online. Like we can do videos. And I said to him, I was like, I will never do this on camera. Like that will never happen.
I had that same thought.
I was just not going to do it. And he was the catalyst to getting me to actually like teach on camera. But yeah, and then from there, then we really intentionally made Bad Yogi what it is. Once we put it online, that's when it was like, okay, this is what it is. And even calling myself Bad Yogi, the first time I did that was for a column that I wrote. And I was like, oh my God, I can't call myself Bad Yogi. Like I'm going to get so much hate mail, you know, and I did.
Right.
Yeah, I did get a lot of hate mail, but you know, it all worked out.
Yeah, clearly you're successful, and you're and anybody that's talked to you for more than 30 seconds knows that whatever they had in their brain about like what you are, this judgment just by the name, that goes out the window. There's no way that stays.
Yeah, I hope so. And I mean, I think too, one of the goals that I've always had was that I think a lot of people are drawn to Bad Yogi because it's like, that's kind of funny and it's not that serious. But I think maybe you come for that, but then you stay for the substance because I do as a teacher, I always try to bring a lot of value to someone's practice. Like I want you to come away having learned something. I want you to come away from my classes having learned something about your body, about yourself, about yoga, something that is interesting and applicable and practical to your daily life. So I always say that, you know, like, all right, you have young kids. Whenever you really want your kid to like eat their vegetables, but like they don't want to eat the broccoli. The broccoli is not interesting. But if you like put a little cheese on it, then they eat the broccoli. So we are the cheese, but for yoga. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You had me at cheese. I was fully there mentally. Cheese on broccoli.
You were with me on the visualization. Yeah, it clicked.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's really funny, but so true. That's so true. When did how long you been, so when did that start? Like online teaching and stuff?
So I think I went online for the first time in like 2012 or something. I think around there. And it was abysmal. I mean, I remember the first video I ever made. I should put that out because
you should. We're going to link it in the notes. Can you please? We're going to link it in the notes here. So the millions of subscribers, they're going to see it.
It's just so bad because it's not even like the once I got to the teaching part, it was fine. But there's like 30 minutes of lead up where I'm just like staring at the camera and being like, wait, never mind. No, go back. What do I do with my hand? Like, you know, just really awkward. And so it took a while. It took a while to feel comfortable. But yeah, I think that was like 2012.
Yeah, I remember last year I was starting a YouTube channel. And I thought I wanted to teach in front of the camera, and I was more nervous teaching in front of the camera than like my class on Sunday with like 100 people. I was more nervous in front of the camera that nobody's watching me.
Exactly.
You know, it was crazy. I remember the first time sitting down, just sweating. And I was like, nobody is even here, you know?
No, it is way worse. For some reason, the camera is way more uncomfortable than teaching to a big class. It's weird. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's like that lights, camera, action. And just to the listener out there, if you're new yogi and if you're new on social media, or if you want to make a YouTube channel, like it takes time. I mean, Erin here, like, you know, didn't just overnight make her brand and Bad Yogi. Like it took time.
Absolutely. It's a
Yeah.
Just
process.
one shitty YouTube video. That's what Pedro and I, we have this thing. It's called Two Shitty Pages. Like we heard it from Tim Ferriss, like
Yes,
procrastination podcast. Have you heard of that?
I have. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's
awesome.
like what we've been getting through. It's like, dude, just 2 shitty pages a day, 2 shitty yoga
Whatever.
poses.
Exactly.
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's true,
and that's how we talk about it. Like 2 shitty recordings. Like everything is 2 shitty something, because like everything is like Bryan and I want to do so many things with like podcasts, all these different ideas, but it's like there's only so much time. There's only so much time. So it's just start with do one thing, but don't just keep talking about things and do nothing.
Exactly.
Like do 2 crappy somethings.
Right?
Exactly. No, it's so true.
Yeah.
I think that gets a lot, and I speak to myself too, because I have been that person a lot in my life where like you're so paralyzed by fear that the thing that you're trying to do is not going to be very good. So you're just like, just do nothing instead. And then the time passes
Exactly.
anyway, like the time is going to pass, and here you are having wasted time, done nothing. Whereas you could have at least filled that time with the practice shots or whatever. And so I mean, it is a process, but the 2 shitty pages is a good thing to keep in mind.
Yes. And with the just do something. Like I know when I first started like content, or I always was like, I need everything to be perfect. Like I need the best equipment, the camera equipment, or I need this and this, and then I can make content. But like I bought the camera equipment and I still record on my phone with a lavalier mic.
Same.
It's like you don't need just to start. You don't need everything.
Oh yeah.
Just to start, you just need like maybe a phone, or I don't know. Just keep it simple. Just make content.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
So agree with you.
Absolutely. And now, Erin, so now you've started, it's grown, and it is what it is now. So what it's like, can you give us a little insight on like what it's like to be part of like the Bad Yogi community?
Oh man, I know that I'm biased, but one thing that really surprises me all the time, like, is the level of sincerity from the people that are a part of our community. And the reason why I can speak that is because every year I have a really big weekend of workshops in Princeton, and it's kind of in a random place. It's not like New York or Miami or LA. It's like Princeton, New Jersey. It's a small town, but the studio is wonderful. And every year it's like this big Bad Yogi get together in person, and it's kind of just turned into that by accident. And when people come by themselves, like people don't know anybody, they sign up for these workshops, they come, and by the end of the weekend, I mean, people are friends. I've seen true friendships form, not just from that weekend. That's just one example, but true friendships form from having kind of connected online, like you follow each other online, like a picture here and there, and then they're meeting up in Philadelphia, or they're going on a group of women from the community, like 5 of them just had a mini retreat that they organized themselves. They all went to one of the women's houses for the weekend. They did yoga together. They made malas together. Yeah. And like, we constantly get stories like this. And I think hearing about communities online is like such a buzzword now, but I really feel like our community is sincerely connected, and there's a lot of depth to the relationships that form. So it's really cool, and it's really awesome to watch, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so inspiring. Like the buzzword in my community is my buzzword these days. Everything that I'm doing is about creating a greater sense of community. It literally, in every action that I make, any gig that I take, any step, I feel like I'm singing that song right now, guys. The one with like P. Diddy. I feel like I'm singing that song. Anyway, but literally that's how I feel. It's like everything that I'm doing is about community, and I want to just bring people together for the greater good. Just someone that comes to yoga that doesn't know anybody, or like just wants to do this thing, but is like, I don't really have any friends that do it, well, come make some friends. Like, let's hold space for you to like connect with people that are on the same vibration or trying to level up just like you are, that's why we're here. That's part of why we're here. But having a group meetup is so fun. You said annually you do that in Princeton?
Yeah, well, I have the weekend of workshops in Princeton, and it just kind of forms it. Like the first year I went, it was really great. And the subsequent years have just gotten better and better. And at the last 2 times, one of the girls that comes, she organizes like a dinner for all of us, and there's like 50 of us that go to this bar after one of them, and all just like we had like a full dinner, drinks till like 1 a.m. the last time. It's awesome. It's great.
Oh, yeah. Party time. Now at 1 a.m, you're just praying the baby's sleeping, and you are too,
Exactly.
Life has changed. Life has changed, Erin. So fun.
Hey, this is Yogi. Bryan here, chiming in with that mid-episode trivia. I know you're excited for the trivia. No matter where you're at, if you're driving in your car to work, or if you're at home, lying in bed, listening to the Yogi Show, we appreciate you. We appreciate you. And you know the rules to the trivia. We're going to give the answer to the trivia question at the end of this episode. No cheating, no Googling, but honestly, you're probably going to cheat. Or you're probably going to Google this. And you know what? No judgment. It's the Yogi Show. We don't judge here. But let me give you the question to the trivia. But before I do that, check out badyogi.com for online classes. Bad Yogi magazine, badyogi.com. Check that out. Visit theyogishow.com for all the show notes. Time for trivia. And I'm feeling good on this Monday, so we're going to give you 2 trivia questions to blow your mind here. And they're animal trivia. So here is the first question. A snail can sleep for how many years? A snail can sleep for how many years? That is your first question. The second question is, which animal never sleeps? Which animal never sleeps? And I'm telling you, if I was reincarnated, I would want to be a snail. I'm telling you that right now. I would want to be a snail. I need that sleep. But let's get back to the show.
Well, I mean, that's awesome. Who are some of your, like, when you were on this journey to building the online community, building your brand, like, who are your yoga, like, entrepreneur yoga inspirations, like your teachers that you like looked up to as you were making this thing happen, as on your way to success here that you've had?
Man, I mean, the entrepreneur side of yoga wasn't really, 7 years ago, that wasn't as much of a thing as it is now. So the entrepreneur side, I really, this sounds very cheesy, but I really admired my husband. He's been an entrepreneur pretty much. That's who he is. I mean, that is
that's
like,
great.
Boom. Yeah. So I really admired him from the entrepreneur side, from the, and plenty of others. Tim Ferriss, of course. I really love Marie Forleo. They're great as well. On the yoga side, I so admired these like very traditional, serious yogis. Like, I loved Sean Korn, and I thought she was just amazing. And I really wanted to be just like them. And even one of the original people who did yoga stuff online was actually Sadie Nardini. And I remember finding her a long time ago.
Yeah. We're going to record with her.
Yeah, she's super cool.
Yeah.
She's really cool.
So fun. Like, she's crazy. She's fun.
I came to Nice a couple years ago, and on vacation, like unrelated to me, obviously. And came for me, and but no, when she was here, we ended up hanging out pretty much every day that she was here, and she's great.
So cool.
Yeah,
that is so cool. It's amazing. Like, again, it's like how we're all connected, and the power of the internet, and the power of invitation. Just like reaching out. Literally just reaching out to connect is so cool, and that people are willing to do that. And in this community that you've created, and just the yoga community in general, I feel as if you're doing something cool and you're doing it for the right reasons, people are going to come. People are going to come. So you out there, new yoga teacher, aspiring yoga teacher, like, as long as you're putting whatever it is out there with good intentions, people are going to show up. That's going to happen, in your life, and it's going to be amazing. So keep doing what you're doing. Absolutely. Bryan, what are you doing these days? For you, when you're looking to like up level, like community, right? What could you say to somebody out there? Like, hey, how do we like to connect with somebody, like someone that's new to class? Like, do you walk as a teacher? Like, do you walk up to them and greet them and just kind of like introduce yourself at the beginning of a practice? Like, how do you do it as a teacher to create that sense of community for you, like in local classes?
Yeah, I try and talk to everyone, especially the new teacher. Lately, I've been really aware of learning the students' names. I teach at a bigger gym, and the classes are like I get a minimum of 30 in class, and sometimes they're new students, and sometimes they've never done yoga. So it's challenging,
Yep.
but I've put it as like my intention is like I want to learn everyone's name, or I want to at least talk to the new student, and because sometimes as a yoga teacher, like I've noticed without even without being aware that like I'll gravitate towards the students that I already know, that I'm familiar with, and then I might miss out talking to the new student, and then I'm just that cliquish yoga teacher only talking to his people that he knows. And like I'm there to hold space for the students, so like I need to at least say hi to the new students, try and memorize the names, because I'm one of those people where before I'm taking this super brain class, Jim Quick right now about memory and stuff. He's awesome. And before I was like, oh, I just names, I just can't remember names, like I'm just so I have social anxiety, blah blah blah. But it's like I'm telling myself that my subconscious mind's listening.
It's reaffirming,
and like I'm making it real, and like everybody can learn names, everybody can learn, like it just takes time. So that's one of my things is like learning names and talking to everyone, just being like there to hold space, not just being comfortable talking to the people I know.
Yeah, I love that, man. Just being open to the new people, because those are the people that are like going to help you build the community even more, because they're going to invite their friends and so on and so forth. So cool. Erin, do you know, like when you have your online community, do you guys have like a giant Facebook group? Like how do you keep everybody together, or is it off the site or onto your website?
So it's a little of both. For people who have our my programs, like the digital programs, we have a private Facebook group. And there's several thousand people in there, but it's a private group. But even though there's so many people, that's one place that always kills me, because you'll see like every time new people join, we do like a weekly roundup where we tag all the new people and we're like, hey, introduce yourself. Here's a few questions to answer. So we do that. And then it's funny because sometimes they'll find like accountability partners, and you will see people go in and tag their partner to be like, hey, I haven't seen you post in a while. Like, what are you doing?
Where are you at though?
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. So that's that side. And then we also have, obviously on Instagram, I mean, like the Bad Yogi hashtag, people go through that and they stay connected there. Whenever I just did a 100 video pose tutorial series that we're doing.
I was going to ask you about that. What was that about? Tell us about that.
Yeah, honestly, it's a free thing. I thought it would be cool to put those videos out. And we've been doing that. And of course, people turned it into a hashtag like the Bad Yogi 100. And so every day people are doing their pose and, interacting within there. So it depends. The community has like little branches now that people interact in. So
that's really cool to be able, that's organic evolution. And that's what happens when you just put good intentions out there. Like the organic evolution and growth just happens, and it just kind of goes in a direction that, man, shoot, I didn't even think of that, but that's okay. Like it happened and it's awesome. So just roll with it, just keep it going,
Yeah, take on a life of their own a little bit, which is cool.
Oh yeah, no doubt. What's your favorite part of doing Bad Yogi? Like as far as the business, I know there's so many aspects of it, like maybe it's changed over the years, but what is it in this moment?
That's a good question. It's hard to pick one specific thing at the moment. One thing that's always a highlight consistently is when I get to do in-person things and meet people in person. And especially now it's funny because, now you'll somebody's Instagram handle, but you don't know their name. So then when you meet them in person, you're like, oh, okay.
Saltwater Mermaid #11. How are you?
Exactly. Exactly. I enjoy doing the in-person stuff. I also, now we have a great team of people. So I actually enjoy doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff. So it's like the opposite side of the same coin, but I like doing behind the scenes stuff, the business side. And then I love doing in-person things always.
Yeah. In person, I'm always just like you said, because you didn't want to, you didn't think you were ever going to teach on camera. So like I'm all about the in-person connection. I love the in-person connection. I'm looking forward to one day doing like a yogi show podcast, like a meetup, kind of thing somewhere, like, in the woods of somewhere, maybe not the woods, but wherever it might be, with the cactuses in Sedona. I have a feeling it's going to be in Sedona, Bryan. I think we're going to do something like that in Sedona. Yeah. Erin, you've inspired that. Like you just inspired that even more by doing, you doing your meetups. Like, and so thank you for sharing that information. And it's just like, it's inspiring to bring people together. It really is. It really is. It makes my heart smile.
Yeah. Especially for the new yogi that, goes to the studio and just maybe doesn't feel welcome and just feels that stickiness vibe. And then they go see your vibe and they're like, oh, yeah, yoga shouldn't be this serious. Exactly. I love it. Like Phil, the new yogi, he loves your stuff.
so good. Phil wears socks in yoga. That's okay, Phil. It's all right, bro.
That's
you
okay,
do your thing,
socks,
man. Yep. So, Erin, what do you think? So obviously your brand has evolved over time. There's no doubt about that. Ever-changing times of social media and the algorithms and all of that stuff. Like, how do you keep up nowadays as a yoga entrepreneur? Because I know there's so many listeners out there that are a yoga entrepreneur, just like you, aspiring to do amazing things like you're doing. How do you keep up? Like, do you have a huge team or what is it?
No, we have about 6 people on our team, but I mean, on my social media, I do myself. And to be honest, keeping up is the wrong mentality to have about it. I think you have to keep ahead, which is hard to do, of course, because if you're looking at what's currently happening and trying to align yourself with that, like you're already, chances are already a little bit behind. I think you have to look forward and think about, okay, well, what's maybe something that a lot of people aren't doing? Like even we'll use an example from the past, but makes, the lesson applies, for a long time, Instagram yogis coming up on Instagram, we're doing like fancy poses and it was like beautifully curated material. And then that sort of became less interesting. Now there's like a million of those, right?
Yeah.
But then
everybody's doing that.
Everybody's doing that. But then, what's
yoga challenges?
Yeah. What's a different side of yoga that people don't often see? Well, it's these funny memes, like the things that you guys did. That's that's a new spin on the yoga life. And so I think that's the reason why that resonated. But if you were just chasing what's currently working? Oh, yogi's doing handstands. I'm going to do handstands. That may not have clicked because that's already passed. That's done. So it's always like, I'm always trying to think of what's a new element that we can add into this thing that's already brewing, so there's a thing that resonates. What's something else I can bring to that takes it up to a different level, I guess. I don't know. So I think it's just the mentality, but I mean, everybody is struggling in the social media landscape right now. It is difficult to stand out. It is difficult to be heard. But you just keep putting out things and you keep trying, and it's the shitty first draft and it's the shitty first 2 pages. And sometimes it's a shitty 25 pages, and that's okay.
No, but 100% agree with that. Staying ahead. I mean, I know I talk with Pedro a lot, and we're always, just kind of collabing, and just seeing what bromancing, seeing what works. But it's like, the memes, like what we're doing, memes, they turn into like GIF memes, and then those are working and those are doing well. And then, TikTok's coming up, and I've been hearing, like I listen to Gary Vee a lot.
Yes.
And I hear TikTok is coming up. So I have like 6 TikToks right now. Ridiculous. Like I have 6 of them. I'm testing things out. And it's like right now, no one really gives a shit about yoga on TikTok, and there's not that many yogis. But if this is like a new platform and people start coming and then people go from Instagram to TikTok, it's like, just like what you're saying, like you got to evolve with content. You got to go where the attention's at. So it's like getting out of that comfort zone. Yeah,
actually, it's really funny you mentioned that, because I just heard Gary Vee talking about TikTok, and I just got on TikTok, and I just got blocked on TikTok. So now my account is
What? Okay. What were you posting that you got blocked?
I posted nothing. That's the thing. So I don't even know. So I emailed it. It's a whole thing. I don't know what's happening.
TikTok hates yoga.
I think they do.
Yeah, I saw bad yogi. They're like, no. Deleted.
Exactly.
You can't put bad in front of yoga. I got banned on LinkedIn just recently because Gary talks about LinkedIn.
What?
and I posted like an It's Just Fucking Yoga article, and like next day, banned. Like, all right, I get this isn't like Instagram.
Oh my God, that is insane.
But yeah, to everybody out there, like what I've learned, and I'm sure Erin, you've learned the same thing, Pedro. It's testing stuff. Like it's like putting out content. Yes, put your genuine content out there
for sure.
Be your authentic self. But like maybe like for me, I used to post pictures of me doing yoga, like funny yoga poses, and like I got like some people liked it, but who the fuck wants to see me doing yoga poses?
I do,
and
like actually,
I know Pedro does. Like, yeah, he shares a lot of my stuff. Pedro's always liking like old pictures, and like you're creeping me out, bro. No, but yeah, like writing is one of my things, and then I finally got into memes, and it's been like that's just natural progression for me. So like anybody out there creating content, test things. Do just test, see what works well for you.
Exactly.
Yeah, try it out.
Another layer to that too is it also depends on what your goal is. So for me, like with Bad Yogi, I don't want it to be the Erin show forever, you know. And so there are some things that I have, because now Bad Yogi is a business and it's not necessarily Erin. There are things that like we've put out or that we've done that I would say, oh, that's not what I would do. That's not what Erin likes. That's not what Erin would personally think. But that's Bad Yogi, you know?
Right.
So, so I think that's another thing too, is that if you want to be your personality, it's your name, that has to be, you know, 100% you. But if you're building a brand, then you have to think about what the brand's message is, what the brand is saying, what resonates on that level, not just you personally.
Absolutely. On brand. You know, that's something that Bryan and I have actually been talking about, is like kind of being on brand. Like, is this like speak to our, like kind of our mission, kind of like what we want to share, you know, or is it like an Erin, like just kind of like an Erin post or like a Pedro thing or a Bryan thing? Like, you know, like Bryan sent me something really funny about Karen being an elite Yelper last night. And he's like, should we post this on the Yogi Show podcast Instagram? I was like, I think that's like a Yogi Bryan post. And he's like, you're right. You know, but it's just, you know, it's all testing. It's just like, we're just again, two crappy things and just trying to find alignment, what's in line with you and your values and your brand, speaking your authentic message and just sharing some stuff, you know, and then just letting it ride, you know, just let it ride. When you,
and that's such great advice too, about, you know, this is just being aligned with your brand, you know, and instead of like, this could be, you know, this is my thing, but does it align with like my brand and my mission to like, you know, help people, get people into yoga.
Yeah.
So yes, awesome advice.
Yeah, for sure. And Erin, so when you were speaking to that, that Bad Yogi is more than just Erin, you know, Erin Motz at this moment, of course, like obviously you got people on the team, you build this community. Is this the thing that you're rolling out? I saw it maybe on your Facebook about like other teachers teaching on the platform, like in a challenge or something you have coming up. I don't want to misspeak and say something wrong, but is this the first time you're having other teachers teach on behalf of Bad Yogi?
Yeah, it is. So, so this is going to be a free challenge, but you know, yoga challenges have been done and I've done them several times. And so when I thought about doing another challenge, I was like, well, I mean, honestly, how can we make this a little bit more interesting where it's not just, again, the Erin show? And I know how many teachers we have within our community and how many teachers are really great and really talented, but don't feel like they haven't had that external push to like finally do something on camera. So we wanted to be that catalyst. And so, we decided to tap into our community, see who was a teacher, see who would be interested. We have put some requirements on them. Like, these are the things that you have to do, the things that you have to have. And we had a great response. I think we might have like 27 teachers or something like that.
Amazing.
Who are going to do that. And I'm honestly, I thought it was going to almost be like an audition. Like when the videos came in, I was going to go through them and we were going to look at them and see, okay, this person, yes, this person, no. Every single teacher had like a quality that I loved. Like, I loved the videos. I loved their classes. I loved their voices. It sounds cheesy, but I was so proud of everyone for like having, because as we talked about, it takes serious guts to like get on camera. Do this.
Serious guts, seriously.
Yeah. And I loved the style. I love that we have all these unique voices and unique styles. And I'm really excited about it. I'm really proud of them for doing it. But yeah, this is the first time we do anything like that.
Congratulations on the evolution, and that's just like the
Right.
next step. We'll be sure to obviously link all of your stuff, of course, in the show notes, where to find you and all the things that you're doing so that people can check it out.
Definitely.
So for
Thank
sure.
you.
Phil, the new Yogi, is going to do that challenge.
Yeah.
I'm sure of it. He's going to do the mid. He's going to do the mid episode commercial.
Yeah.
Because he loves your brand. so much.
Seriously. Okay, Erin.
getting him on.
So I know you're short on time. You have a million things happening with the baby and life. So let's get to the hashtag. So we do this thing on the show called the hashtag lighten up round. So it's like kind of like one of those lightning round things, but it's random AF questions that that don't put a lot of thought into. Just have some fun with it, and it'll be cool. So,
All right.
Bryan, you ready for that? Brian's
ready. I'm
he's
ready.
the wild card. He stays ready. Like Bryan is always ready. So I'll go first. So Erin, what is your walkout song? What is your walkout song? Like the song that gets you going, pumped up.
Oh. Okay, wait, let me think. Probably. Oh shoot, I don't know the name of it, but okay, I'll just say I'll give
Can
like a
you sing it?
sweeping answer. Okay, I haven't been to the gym in a while, so I can't. But there's the soundtrack of the Spider-Man. It's like the cartoon version that just came out. Is it Into the Spider-Verse? I think it's called.
Into the Spider-Verse?
I think it's what's called. It's like a cartoon Spider-Man that just came out.
Okay.
It's like
I
an
don't know it.
amazing movie. It came out like a few months ago, and the whole soundtrack to that is like just that whole thing. I'm just going to generalize and say
Generalize
the whole
that.
soundtrack.
Okay. I dig it.
Awesome.
All right, Bryan.
All right. If you could take a yoga class from anyone in the world, who would it be? And this person can be a cartoon, can be a fictional character, anyone in the entire world. Take a yoga class with, who would it be?
Oh my God. Wait, are they teaching or are we just like mat to mat? Neighbors.
Let's say they're teaching. They're teaching. They're
teaching.
teaching the class.
Oh, Oprah?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I want to take Oprah's class.
Yeah, I want to take.
I would cry in her class in Pigeon.
Yeah.
She would say some deep
I'm just
shit.
crying the whole
She would.
time.
Yeah, exactly.
right from Om.
Yeah, from I'm crying.
Oprah doing an Om. I'm in tears.
Sure. Okay, Erin, if you had to rename Theo for some random reason, you had to rename Theo, and his new name had to be a yoga pose, what would his name be?
Oh my God. Shoot. What's the loudest yoga pose?
Omster?
I normally am screaming.
Yeah, we'd have to invent something new. Like something. I'm drawn to like lions.
Lion's breath. Like,
Lion's breath. Yeah.
okay, so Theo's new name is Lion's breath.
Yeah, we're gonna go with that.
Fun. All right, Bryan, roll with it, man. What do you got, wild card, Bryan?
All right, I'm thinking of, we got to do a comparison. Who makes a better yoga teacher? Let me think of two random things here. So, okay, Ariel from The Little Mermaid, or a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Oh.
Who would be a better power yoga teacher?
Okay, so it is the predictable answer, but I do have to say the T-Rex because I feel like, we could all identify with the rage of a T-Rex that he puts on the outside, but deep inside, T-Rex is a softie, and I just feel like he's a good duality going on.
I love it.
I love it. I could just see a T-Rex right now just being conflicted.
Yeah.
Just being like, gosh, I eat meat, but like I do yoga now.
Exactly.
And I have this really loud roar.
I love that.
But I'm starving.
Yeah. The T-Rex hates chaturanga. Do you guys remember that meme? Like that's like the old school. Like whoever thought of that, like in their basement, while they were trying to do chaturanga and couldn't do it. Like that was like that's like one of the funniest things that swirled the internet for a long time.
That's classic.
Okay, Bad Yogi. Who reaches enlightenment first? Daisy Duck or Minnie Mouse?
Oh my God.
You're from Florida. You got to be a Disney person.
Yeah, for sure.
Minnie Mouse?
Yeah.
Minnie Mouse. I think that's the acceptable answer for sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah. That's Minnie Mouse is so zen.
Yeah,
Even like going to Disney World, like she's always just chill,
Yeah.
absolutely.
like as a character. So hey, good job, Minnie Mouse out
All right,
there.
Bryan, last one. Roll with it. What do you got?
Oh my gosh. So who reaches Who handstands first? The planet Saturn or Venus? Who would handstand first if they like had a yoga practice, and like which one?
Okay, I'm gonna go with Venus because I associate Venus with a female, and we have to take it.
Good answer, Erin.
Oh yeah, good answer. Good answer. I was thinking that too.
You know,
Venus just seems more, I don't know, just stable.
Yeah.
Saturn's just fucking got rings going on. Like there's a lot of shit going on with Saturn.
This is amazing. Well, this has been so fun with the two of you today. This has been really a great show.
Thanks for having me.
Erin, thanks for taking the time out of your schedule. Thanks for doing this thing. And it's been a super pleasure to get to know you a little bit more, get to know about all the amazing things you're doing with Bad Yogi. And we'll make sure to link everything back on theyogishow.com. So make sure you head there to the show notes to find Erin and all of the awesome stuff that she is doing and what Bad Yogi is doing to be part of the community. Bryan?
Thanks so much for having me.
Yes. Thank you so much, Erin. And I'm excited to do your challenge, and Phil is super excited. I talked to Phil a lot, and we became friends. He has an Insta Famousgram, and he just talks so many good things about you. So everybody out there that knows Phil the New Yogi, like he loves Bad Yogi and the Bad Yogi. So
Let's do it.
So I wishes he could be here today, but
good time.
Next time.
All right, my friends, enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to sign off. Say namaste. Let's do it. Have a good one, friends.
Thank you so much for listening to the Yogi Show podcast. How cool is Erin? Bad Yogi. Visit her at badyogi.com. Take some classes online. Check out the magazine, badyogi.com. And I know you want the answers to the trivia question, but before that, I got to give a special shout out, special thank you to DJ Taz Rashid. He's providing the music to the Yogi Show podcast. Visit him on Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere you listen to music, visit DJ Taz Rashid. Thank you, Taz, for all your music here. Special thanks to Colin Tull for producing this podcast episode. He's been an amazing addition to the Yogi Show family, and I know you want the answers to the trivia questions, so let's get to that. And if you didn't cheat, then pat yourself on the back because you rock. But here we go. The first question was, a snail can sleep for how many years? A snail can sleep for how many years? And a snail can sleep for 3 years. A snail can sleep for 3 years. I want to be a snail. I just want to sleep for 3 years. Especially after recording this outro, I just want to go to sleep right now. Next question was, which animal never sleeps? Which animal never sleeps? And that animal is a bullfrog. A bullfrog never sleeps. Jeremiah was a bullfrog, and Jeremiah never went to sleep. Poor Jeremiah. I never want to be a bullfrog if I get reincarnated. But special thanks to anybody still listening to this. I mean, this is the outro. We're just talking here. And if you're listening to this, you know what? Go to theyogishow.com, send us a message, and let us know if you listen to this end of the outro here. And maybe I'll send you a sticker. Just maybe. But send us a message. But you know, this is Yogi Bryan here. We're signing off. And as always, gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Namaste.